Excellency, Mr. Javed Ashraf, Ambassador of India to France and Monaco, to deliver the keynote address.
There's a bit of a feedback on the mic. Okay. Honorable Minister of State, Muruganji, Murugananna, thank you for your presence here today, because you were here last year with us, and your presence again this year reflects the commitment and leadership that you're showing in promoting Indian cinema abroad. In addition to all the other ministerial responsibilities that you have in some very vital sectors of our economy, and also the political responsibilities that you bear. To the producers, directors, actors, who are the reason we are here today, a very warm welcome to all of you here in Cannes, a place that never ceases to entice people to its beautiful blue shores. To all of you who are present here, it's always a great pleasure and privilege to be back at the Cannes Film Festival. In France, there are hundreds of different trade fairs or exhibitions, as you might call them, but none attracts as much attention as the Cannes Film Festival, including in India, where it is almost a breathless coverage of this festival. I suppose it is a combination of glamour, art, and commerce that makes it so seductive. The coverage, in fact, just shows how important this film festival has always been for us and for the world. But it is also because cinema is intricately and inextricably linked to the life of every Indian. It is hard to say whether there are more people on a train in India on a given day or more in a cinema halls across the country. But it is true that almost in every aspect of our life, they are the chroniclers of our hopes and aspirations, of our dreams, of our pain and sorrow, of our joys and laughter, of our triumphs and tragedies, of our national journey and individual lives. They're always there for us to comfort us in our loneliness, to console us in our despair, and to join us in our celebrations. Movie makers hold a very sharp mirror to our darkness, just as much as they celebrate the beauty of India. And they also help us escape in some of the most tiring moments into a world of heroes and angels. So to you all, we owe a great deal of gratitude. But increasingly, you are doing a job for us that diplomats are meant to do, which is to make the world dance to our tune. You have enriched the lives of Indians abroad, and you have brought India into the lives of people across the world. Today, as I experienced in France with great astonishment, the success of Pathan, when first shows, 16 shows were all sold out to houseful. I've seen the success of KGF and R. I've seen people dance on the streets to Natu Natu and Jo Mere Pathan. And when we were doing the Festival of India here, we were also conducting workshops. And one of the most popular workshops was the workshop on Bollywood dance classes. The first day itself, the registration crossed 500. We had to close it to only reopen it much later. And that just shows the universal popularity of Indian cinema. We are not just one of the biggest movie makers in the world across 40 languages that we've just heard. We've also created a distinct vocabulary, a distinct craft, a distinct conception of cinema. which is now embracing the entire world. And this year in Oscar, again, we saw the sheer brilliance of our craft. Gunit Monga is here. She is... Her work is more than the story of a couple and those two beautiful elephants. Forget about this magical cinematography. It was also a story that reminded us, as only in India we can, that we do not exist above and outside nature, but we're part of nature. And it was a story of sublime love, expressed in its most divine beauty without words, of trust, of compassion, of kindness, of a heart which is not bound by any sort of pecuniary limits. This is the power of cinema. And I have to say that no matter how many times you watch Elephant Whisperer, you want to go back to watching it because you experience the divine in that. So I say all this because I feel we need to do better. And I know Minister feels the same way, that we need to do better. We need to have a bigger presence here. We need to have a more organized presence here, in Cannes and elsewhere. We need to prepare better. We need to have a more aggressive approach to promotion of cinema here. We need to have films once again going up on stage to picking up the awards. Because we are second to none. Every day we are making cinema, which, as I said, can be a universal story that will appeal to anyone in the world, or entertain us in a way that not even James Bond movies could. So we need to do a little more, plan better, be more aggressive, be more visible, have a larger presence that will do justice to the scale and the strength of Indian cinema. And I'd like to leave with a few suggestions also. One, of course, remember what cinema does beyond entertaining. It creates jobs and livelihood in the remotest parts of India. It creates export earnings, and it wins the hearts of the people across the world. And in the international relations from which I come, winning the hearts and minds is the ultimate objective. So we should make cinema a very powerful instrument of our soft power, which it is. We must have film festivals supported by the government and by the industry across all the major cities in the world, standalone India film festivals. We have to. Imagine Paris does not have an Indian film festival, or New York doesn't have an exclusive Indian film festival, or let us say London or other places. It cannot simply be the episodic existence of cinema that they get released through commercial approaches. We must be able to do it. We are doing it in our embassy, subtitling it in French and showing cinema to people, and we hope to increase that. But there is something else I felt we should do when we looked at the incentives for shooting in India. We cannot simply be a destination for films that treat India as caricature, where we use the stereotypes of people in turban speaking with an accent. We have locations that would be the dream of any cinematographer, as it has been of photographers like Henri Cartier-Bresson, for any kind of cinema, whether it is a thriller, whether it's an art film, whether it is a serious family drama. And we need to project that. We need to invite producers and take them around and say, if you want to have a helicopter chase in Uttarakhand, this is where you'll have Nanda Devi as your backdrop. If you want to do it in the beaches, or if you want to do it in the forests or along the rivers of Brahmaputra, everywhere we can showcase where we can actually make it work. The third element, of course, I'd like to say is that we are the world's hub for content creation in the digital world. And this is going to be the future. We are making that extraordinary transition in human history for the first time in 300 years to an AI-driven world. Everything is going to migrate to AI. And there's no country, believe me, better placed to exploit the power of artificial intelligence, including in content creation, including in simultaneously translating into multiple languages every cinema film that we make, than India. So this is going to be an industry worth billions and billions of dollars. And we must do whatever we can to promote it. So I think when we plan for Cannes or for any film festival, our planning should begin the day we pack our bags here. We at the embassy are always there for you. And I can tell you, much before we get the approvals, we start blocking rooms and doing all the venue issues because we know what it takes to get it here in this great city of Cannes. But I really believe, as I stand here, that there is one instrument that India has that can help it stay firmly in the hearts and minds of every of the 6 or 7 billion residents of this planet, and that is the power of Indian cinema. We are the best, and we will be the best. And we know how to do it in multiple languages. So with these words, let me thank you once again and wish the delegation that has come here, all these wonderful, beautiful, creative people, and a very productive visit to Cannes. Thank you very much, Honorable Minister.